I want the audio to go this way. Okay, so that's already live. Yeah, I'm sure we can hear each other. Once I turn it on. Wait, why not? Testing 1, 2. Oh, sorry.
Thank you.
Where'd it go? Oh. Oh, that's all right. So the mic's a condenser mic, right? So you want the BM800 facing. You want to talk to the side of it?
Okay. I'm
Just
just trying to keep
anyone
these
you
on.
want. Yeah. Yeah. So as closer you are to it, then obviously the better. How do you pull? Let me fix that.
Malfunctions. I don't know why Oh, I'm the first time.
I got the new phone and I thought, hey, I'll see what I can do. I'm streaming this live on YouTube. So, let's see. Testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2. I'm in thought.
Hey,
Hey, I actually knew that.
that's what it's supposed to say.
It's good. Let me see how this sounds. I probably should have done all this before I went live on YouTube, but
That's okay.
that's right. It's okay. It's my podcast.
They get to watch all of the stages.
All right. So everything will just that. And boom. Live. So thank you so much for doing this.
I'm excited. Thank you for having me.
You've never done a podcast or radio interview or
This
So-
is the first time.
so they got you scheduled to do anything like this?
We kind of have freedom to do whatever we want. I've done more on like the news, and I do a lot in Chattanooga with Let's Chat. So I've been on there several times.
Oh, so you've been on TV?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. I'm always,
Yes.
always want to do the TV thing, so if you're watching this, you know. Let's see, so we're at, you want to tell folks about
So we are over in downtown Sweetwater, which is where I'm from. So we are meeting at the delicious little coffee shop that we have in our sweet little house.
I fell in love with this coffee shop. I found it by accident. I was, I had a guy named Corbin Payne, that's one that's interviewed. And he's originally from Madisonville. And he was up Knoxville, so we were trying to, he said, yeah, I'm going to be in Madisonville this weekend. Well, I didn't want to ask him to drive to Athens. So I was looking around, I found this coffee shop. I said, just meet me at that coffee shop. So he ran up and met, and then I think this exact table. And it was a great experience, and I fell in love with it. So when I'm back to Sweetwater, I'm by here.
It's such a great atmosphere.
It is. It's got a cool little vibe. They got the little bakery stuff over here that looks extremely good. But, you know.
It's all very dangerous when you do pageants. So,
That's right. So how many pageants have you done?
oh, I couldn't tell you.
Why, is it top secret?
No, I started when I was 5 months old.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so I really just couldn't tell you because I have no idea.
So you just competed and won and was crowned Miss U.S. World
Yes.
2019.
Yes.
How excited is that?
I still don't think I have fully wrapped my head around what happened. It's something that I've worked for the last 26 years. So being able to finally obtain that goal and fulfill that dream in my life has been insane. And I guess I just always thought once I won a national title that would be it. And it's like now I have this Miss World crown looming, and I have to get ready to go compete for Miss World and represent the United States.
So the next competition is where and when?
So I will compete in the Bahamas, which was a really nice surprise.
Do you need a
because-
+1?
It's probably going to take a whole team of people to have me
I'll
ready
join
down
your
there.
team. How's that?
So I will compete in the Bahamas in early August. We don't have an exact date set yet, but it will be early August.
Nice. So national title. So you also crowned, I think it was in 2012, 2012, was it Miss Tennessee, United States?
Yes, so I won Miss Tennessee United States in 2012, and then I took a 5-year break from pageantry, and I really just, that was a hole in my life that I was missing, and so I went back and competed for Ms. Tennessee United States in 2017, and I won that title as well.
So you've won Miss and Ms. So for the folks listening or watching that are ignorant like me, the difference is?
So the difference is, as a Miss, you're pretty much just, I think the division is like 18 through 27 or 28, and you've never been married, you've never had children, just straight out of college. Ashley, I was actually in college when I won Miss Tennessee. So when I came back as a Ms, I was eligible for that title because I had a little baby.
Got it.
Yes. So after I had my son.
Is that why you had your son?
Yeah, for that next title.
I want that title.
Yeah, I'm waiting on a ring so I can go for that Mrs. title, you guys. So.
So guys, if you're wondering, so the I know. So my podcast is basically about people and things that interest me, right? So I didn't know you, so I didn't really. This is gonna sound wrong. I wasn't interested. I didn't know you. I'm not that interested in pageants. And then, my mom comes up and says, "Hey, this blah 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 just won Miss World," and then it comes across my Facebook. I'm thinking, wait a minute. I don't know anything about pageants. I watched them when I was a child because we had 3 channels on TV and Mom wanted to watch it, so we watched it. I watched it when I got married because my wife likes that stuff, and so we would watch it. And have things. What's the intrigue? What draw you? And I know right now there's, I don't know if you would follow the controversy with the communications officer. Somebody says they're selling a male fantasy. What's your thoughts on the big that?
I don't at all. Actually, I have never, when I came back as a Ms, so we'll start this story here. When I came back as a Ms, I had my son, and there were some relationship things that caused me to almost be depressed, and I had gained a lot of weight, and when I decided to come back and compete for Miss Tennessee, it was because I was like, I have to lose weight. And I'm just not that type of person that can be like, okay, we're gonna lose 40 pounds today. It just doesn't work that way for me. So I needed that end goal. I'm very goal oriented, and I knew that if I put a timeline on it, that I would be ready. So I signed up to compete for Miss Tennessee United States in 2017, and I, started working with a personal trainer. I had a meal plan. I overall just got so much healthier in my life. And when I competed for Miss Tennessee, I had never felt more, and when I went on to compete for Miss United States, I had never been more confident in my life, and that was post-baby in a swimsuit on stage. Wow. And I didn't feel objectified at all. I've actually never felt more confident and empowered in my life than to show off. I worked so hard to be here, and I lost 60 pounds so that I could be on this stage.
60 pounds?
60
How much
pounds.
time?
And I lost 50 between November 11th and April 1st of that year, and then another 10 pounds before I went to the national pageant. So I think about the span of about 8 months.
Wow.
So yes, and the healthy way, was not, crash dieting, anything like that. I had a personal trainer and a nutritionist that were really helping me do this the right way. And I was just spending a lot of time in the gym and really working on myself. So being able to stand on that stage confidently in my own skin and feel beautiful was huge for me because I had done it the right way.
Well, I think I'm glad to hear that, and I guess on one hand I kind of guessed, obviously, you don't hear it that way. But you do hear a lot of people who say it is that, and my considered argument that it's objectifying women is, I guess if I thought the vast majority of people watching these pageants, and the vast majority of people who's going to watch this Victoria's Secret pageant show were straight men, okay, I would buy it. That's not the case. I mean, the vast majority of people who watch pageants are women.
Yes.
And so,
overall.
Yeah, overall. And, I mean, you probably have some guys that watch it because, like I did, who watch it there.
Well, that's our Super Bowl. The
Right.
pageants, that's our Super Bowl. So, guys have
And
their
award shows.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, and so that's why I don't think it's so much a objectification of it. They did just take away, I think, the swimsuit portion of Miss USA. Is that correct?
No, they took away in Miss Teen USA. The teens are now competing in fitness wear. And actually, for this pageant, I competed in fitness and not swimsuit. So we pretty much had the choice. We could wear a tank top or a sports bra. We could wear yoga pants, workout shorts. I wore a tennis skirt. You just wore something that you felt confident in. So you kind of got to choose what level of outfit you wanted to wear. It was totally up to you, and it was just, we were based entirely on confidence. They were not looking for the girl that was a size 2. I'm not a size 2. So they weren't looking for the smallest girl on stage. They were looking for the woman who could stand on stage and be most confident in her skin, how she was.
So I went to the U.S. World Pageant website,
Yes.
which and I tried to find some YouTube videos.
Yes, we do need more videos, for sure.
And I found one, I think, from 2015, and it was showing some contestants walking out. It was just what you said. There were thin, fit women, and there were some women who doesn't fit today's idea of thin and fit. There's some larger women. There were some younger women. There were some older women. I think that one lady in Australia.
Yes.
She's, I don't know how old she was.
Robbie Canner is our current Miss World, and I believe that she's 61 years old.
Right.
So yes, I mean, women of all ages. That's what's really special about the Miss US World and the Miss World organization as a whole, is that they truly celebrate all women. It doesn't matter what your age is, it doesn't matter what your size is. They're celebrating inner and outer beauty, and they're just looking for a woman who is confident and a woman who is real in today's society.
And that's what I appreciate about seeing that Robbie Canner wearing a crown. And I thought, okay, wait, this is pretty cool that she's in there competing with girls of your age. And still, she wins this crown. And goes on to represent. Now, Miss US, so you're going to do Miss US World, and then you go for Miss World, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So I will be competing for Robbie's title.
See, look at this crown.
Yes.
Okay.
She's
thought I had
beautiful.
rhinestones.
I have joked that I'm going to try to have it permanently attached to my head, and so that I can wear it always.
Is it comfortable at all?
It actually is not hard to wear.
Oh, did you just say it's not comfortable at all?
No, I've had crowns that are very uncomfortable that I've had migraine headaches when wearing, and this one actually is to be as big as it is.
Can I hold it?
Very, yes, of course. Don't drop it.
Don't drop it.
If you drop it on camera, then
Yes. You guys want to see this on me?
very sparkly.
It is a beautiful crown. Do they make a new one?
So this is the new one.
And so they make one every year.
No. So they actually did revamp the national crown this year. So I have the brand new crown, and the really spiky one that you saw. That's the best way I can describe it. That you saw Robbie wearing. That is the international crown. So hopefully I'll be
Hopefully you
wearing
get the
that one day.
international.
Yes, that would be amazing.
So now, what all? I know that they're big on supporting women's issues, and women's Miss World pageant is for forgot that, I've seen the acronym, but it's against violence against women.
Yes, the National Organization of Women's Safety Awareness. Yes. So that is the national platform of the organization, and we are just to be a voice for women who have suffered through sexual violence or any of those situations.
So, what are they doing to do that? How do they get that out there?
Through education. So Lydia, who is a former Miss World title holder, she has founded this organization, and there's actually, I am the Miss US World title holder, and so I'm lucky and I get to be a sort of ambassador for this organization. But now, a new thing that they did this year is they crowned a Nowza ambassador at the pageant. So all of us had the opportunity to send in an email if we were interested in being the Nowza ambassador. I did not personally send in an email. I just didn't feel like I even deserved that, not being someone who has experienced any some type of sexual violence in my life. There were women who did, even platform of domestic violence and just different, their own personal platforms that go hand in hand with what Nowza Florida stands for. So Miranda Childers from Georgia is actually our Nowza ambassador. She's from North Georgia. She was actually Miss North Georgia at the pageant. So she's absolutely beautiful, and she is going to be the Nowza ambassador for this year. And she will also come to Miss World and have the chance to compete for the international tour.
So what was your platform?
So my personal platform is called Safely Social, and what I do is I work with moms and I work with children, mainly teens, sadly children too, because they have iPhones and they have social media now. But what I do is I educate on social media safety and just try to keep our kids safe online.
Okay, how do you do that? I mean, you go to schools?
I have worked a lot in schools, mostly local here in this area, and just try to educate them on what they need to do to be safe with pageants. I try to talk to them about what rules. This is a tough one. I mean, this is very tough, but I try to talk to them about the rules that they need to be implementing with their children that comes to their phones. And that's all to protect them, but you know how it is when you have a teenager.
What would your rules be? I know what my rules were growing up. My kids were
I think that there needs to be, between a parent and child, and teenagers too, that's where it gets tough, is because teenagers don't want parents in their phones. But parents are usually paying. They should be sending those pictures. Well, it is a reality thing, and that's why I think that if parents are more involved when it comes to that, maybe hopefully some of that will stop. But I think that some of the rules that need to be implemented, two of the biggest ones are an open phone policy. If I ask to see your phone at any time, you hand me your phone right then and there. You don't. No time to delete stuff, no passwords. And that's the other thing with social media. Parents need to have their children's passwords.
I agree. We had basically two rules. This first rule covered everything to do with your phone. That phone is for my convenience, not yours.
Yes.
So when you start paying for your phone,
absolutely. That's my theory behind it as well.
Right. That means if I call you get back to me, I'm going to put your school. Can't do that. One basic rule, only for my convenience. Second one was at night, phones go on the table in the living room.
That's another great one.
Right, you're not taking the phone.
Nothing good's happening with a cell phone for a teenager after 10 p.m.
No, and even if they're just in there, in there just playing games or watching videos, that's not good. Teenagers have enough sleep.
Yes.
I mean, your circadian rhythm and all that stuff gets messed up and everything going on. It's horrible. So having screens in there is horrible. And that went so far as the TV.
Yes. Well, when I was a Miss, I really focused on bullying, and my platform kind of evolved into social media safety when I became a Miss. And it was because of me having the parent relation as opposed to just being a 20-year-old girl in college. But they really tie in hand in hand. And I think that a lot of the rules that can be put into place, and I think that these things can also help with bullying. that is where a lot of bullying is taking place, is on social media and through phones, because we have these keyboard warriors that would never say something that they're not afraid to say.
They would, and I've ran into that doing the stuff that I do.
Oh, absolutely.
I get these keyboard warriors, how you said it, it's probably the right way.
The trolls.
The way I handle mine is I go.
That's the best way.
I don't do what I call Facebook ping pong. So, you know, we post something on Facebook and you respond, and then I respond, and you respond, and I respond, and then at some point we're just talking past each other, not with each other.
Yes.
And so I'll usually get my one response, but I usually put the caveat in there, look, I'm not playing Facebook ping pong, this is my one response. If we'd like to talk further about this face to face, we can. There's my response. But, and then I've had them just try to blow it up.
Well, typically, and typically they don't want a resolution. Typically they just are enjoying the fight. So I'm sure you don't get a lot of follow up on that.
No, like I said, I've had one who just, he put like 4 or 5 replies after that, and I didn't even look at it. I just kept getting these notifications. I didn't even look at it. It's not worth going down that rabbit hole.
Or your peace of mind at all.
None. But also, I am very anti-bullying. I don't know what you're going to ask me. When I was bringing my kids up, my daughter was a little girl in preschool. And she was the only little girl. All these little boys were living in Southeast Kentucky. So she's got all these bruises and scratches. And I was in the Marine Corps Reserve at the time. And so I go to talk to the school. And I'm basically the boys. Right. So I come home and the wife was talking about it. And I said, well, no, she's right. Boys will be boys until they're taught to be men. That's why we teach them to be men. She said, what are we going to do? So we'll teach you to fight. And so I spent that weekend on my knees teaching her, you know, the basic hand-to-hand combat techniques that I learned. I mean, to the point of grabbing hair and hitting her in the face. And I'm teaching her this. I'm letting her go full speed on me because she's 2.5, 3 years old. It's not her. She leaves a few red marks. But that's what I did. And we go back to school on Monday. I tell them, I said, look, I understand you got your rules. I understand you don't want to fight, blah, blah, blah. So once this happens, just give me a call. We'll pick her up, take her to get ice cream. And that's what I told her. I told Kaylee that, hey, you get ice cream. She quit coming on the group. She quit coming on the scratches. But then I went on to teach her when it comes to bullying, you know, physical, punch and throw. Don't wait for that first fight. Just go ahead and go with it, because bullies do not want to fight. They don't want a physical altercation. They just want to look big and tough. And as soon as you confront them, they don't like it. Keyboard warriors are different. Why do you think that is?
They can stay playing keyboard. There's just kind of different levels and different types. It's just like
No physical harm.
Right, there's no physical harm. And it's kind of like with boys versus girls. Boys can fight it out and be best friends 5 minutes later, whereas girls go a little deeper with words. And words are very powerful. And girls are not typically physical bullies. They connect with words. Yes, and that's very damaging. And that's, you know, it does long-term damage. And that's kind of why I almost think that it's better that these boys can just kind of wrestle it out and then be done with it. It's like they can be best friends moments later, whereas with girls, you have long-term grudges, and that's really sad.
And I've noticed that, like in relationships that I've been in, it's the same way. I mean, you know, get mad and say some of the most cutting, hurtful things. I'm just like, how can you be so cruel to say that?
We don't need it. It's emotions.
But you're right, the words have power.
They do.
That's why we call it, you know, the whole idea of casting a spell. You're casting a spell of division, you're casting a spell of pain
Yes.
with those words.
I do think we have to be very careful with our words and how we use them, and make sure that we're using our words to uplift other people and encourage other people. And just another reason that I don't kind of, I platform that I have is because I get that opportunity, and you know, people will listen to me, and I'm able to encourage women and uplift women and inspire them to do big things in their lives as well.
Right, and that's the cool thing about a platform like this. It takes you from a small stage, not that you're on a small stage, I mean, obviously you're currently two national titles, I guess.
Two state titles, yes.
Two state titles. Do you have another national title?
No.
Okay.
No, I've competed for 26 years for this moment. Thank you. But it does. It did start on a smaller stage. I competed at the local level, you know, for years before I went to Miss Tennessee and won. And lost a lot. And, you know, I look back at that, and it was very hurtful at the time, and a lot of times it was like first runner up, and I was like, what is it that's setting?
First, you're last.
Right, exactly. But it's true. I mean, you walk
That's how you
away.
feel.
Yeah, absolutely. You still walk away empty-handed. But when I look back at it, I was never walking away empty-handed because I was learning so much about myself every single time that I lost. And if I had went in and just won right off the bat as a miss, I would have missed out on learning a lot about myself. And a lot of those interviews that I sat there, I remember I came out of my very first pageant interview crying because, and they were talking about my platform, which was at that time the American Cancer Society, and I had lost my grandfather to lung cancer, and I was just too close to it to talk about it. And, you know, so that was another one of those things. I kind of had to develop my platform and figure out what I was passionate about that I could still talk about and explain why.
How old were you at this time?
I was 18 years old.
Okay.
And I just do not think, I look back and I'm like, I was 18 years old, I was very young. I did not even know myself as a person at that time. You're really still getting to know yourself.
Oh, yeah, at the time you also thought you knew everything.
I did know everything. I just didn't know who I was. Exactly. So that's, you know, there was a lot of potential in all of those losses that led me to here because I wouldn't have won this title if it hadn't been for every single time that I lost in the past. I was being prepared for.
It's interesting that you say that because I mean we have this culture that I've noticed in the last few years. Everybody's a champion. Everybody, you can be anything you want to be. It's not what I talk like kids. No, you can't play me like this. So you can play really good.
Yes.
Well, let's find some real real talents. And yeah, it's okay. It's good. I'm glad you did. And because you do learn. But he said the goal of being a parent isn't giving the kids the best, it's being good enough and slowly teaching them smart. Because in reality, we're going to get real life and then we'll find this hard. So you don't want to go out and try to do everything for your kid, everything. Not gonna get that. You're not gonna get to go there. No. Because, like you said, it strengthens. It helps them out. So you've done Miss Tennessee, Miss World. Oh, that's what I was going to ask you because I was talking to somebody and they said, I'm curious about her thoughts on the whole child pageant. You've seen the horrible videos, you've seen the you've seen the 5-inch girls and 6-inch stiletto videos. Is that real?
I mean, I told you I started doing this when I was 12 months old. I grew up in this world, and my mom is standing right over here. So hi, Mom. So yes, she was filming us. So I think that everyone has a different experience in pageantry. I do not think that pageantry is for everyone. I will say that, and I will tell anybody that it was like, show my daughter in a pageantry. Pageantry is not for everyone. Now, reality TV, which is what I assume that we're kind of talking about to some extent. Reality TV at the end of the day is reality TV. Now, is the fake hair real? Are the flippers, the fake teeth real? The makeup, yes. I mean, I say it's real, but is that real life. It is. And you know, I never had a negative experience doing pageants as a child. I mostly competed naturally, but I was in the glitz world a little bit, and the glitz world was, glitz is the crazy, you know, I shouldn't say crazy. I do love that world, and I have such it holds a place in my heart. But it's just stuff you see on TV.
Like the Honey Boo Boo.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, I never had a negative experience with
I just
it.
find it fascinating. Have a name for it.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Glitz world, and you're in the natural.
Yes. Well, I did compete glitz. Not as much, but I say that because the glitz world back then was more natural, in a sense. We weren't as progressed as we are now. But you know what? I think of it as performing. You know, and that's what it is. The children are performing. They're gaining confidence. They're gaining experience, and they're just performing on stage at the end of the day. So some of it goes a little too far. I've seen some risque outfits and things like that personally I wouldn't encourage. But at the end of the day, it's performing just like a dance competition or a cheerleading competition or anything like that. That's kind of how I look at it. Again, it's not for everyone. It's truly not.
So why would you say it's not for everyone? What type of person would it be for versus?
You just have to love to be on stage and be in front of people and have, you know, passion for that performance and things. Because I have been judging and seeing kids crying just right before they step onto the stage, and they come on stage and it's a whole new kid. And they're happy and they go back off stage and they're back in tantrum mode. But they are performing. They're prepared to perform, and they've been conditioned and trained to get on stage and do their routine and then exit the stage, and whatever happens off stage is what happens off stage. They're still a child, you know, and we have children, so we understand that. And, you know, some kids don't get into the hair and the makeup and the dresses. Some kids
My
would.
daughter, I understand you're trying to think, but I imagine my daughter. And she's a very beautiful.
Yeah.
Very beautiful. I'll show you a picture later.
But beautiful girls love to play basketball too.
She's a roller derby girl.
Exactly.
She skates roller derby. She played softball. She got kicked out of school twice for fist fights. That was my daughter. She was more of a tomboy, living in the Pacific Northwest, hoodies, and listening to ska or screamo music. She was in mosh pits at 15. That was my daughter, right? If you look at her in her wedding dress, you're thinking, she's a gay princess. But she's got that in her. I couldn't imagine her doing it. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I like the way you put it. But it's a performance because we grew up in the sports world with my children. And I saw some parents who, if you were doing a reality TV show about the sports world, you would think, oh my God, that is cool. There's no way that could do it. Just, it's like they were living vicariously through this child. This child absolutely did not. There was some of that, and that's my picture of child pageant.
Well, and I will not say that is not the case. I'm sure that a lot of times that is the case, but you can see through that on stage. The kids can't hide that, and you definitely, that shows through if they don't love what they're doing and they're not happy.
Well, I think, you know, when I'm thinking about you, you're now an adult, you're continuing to be obviously what and the fact that there's still women out there that want it at the adult level, that's obviously.
Absolutely, and I think that what you see, especially when women are a little bit older and coming into pageantry, I say that I'm 26, but I'm an adult. This is a choice. My mom would probably love if I came home and was like, I'm done. I'm never doing another pageant again. She'd probably be like, but, I mean, she's very proud of me, and she's so supportive, like the most supportive person in my pageant journey. But it's expensive. It's a very expensive hobby, of course. So, but no, I think that what you're seeing as women get a little bit older, we're seeing women who are passionate about service, and this is our platform to serve others, and I think that's the part that people miss, and that is why pageants are still, we kind of talked about or touched on this early on, that's why pageants are still relevant today. is this is just our way of giving back and serving and giving ourselves a bigger platform.
When I was thinking about that, why are they so relevant? I go to different pageant websites, and I'm sitting here thinking, why am I surfing pageant websites? And the sponsor, part of it. So, makeup companies, clothing companies, I mean, all types of companies who are sponsoring this to make it happen. And then you find out, like you said, probably the best kept secret that they might need to work on is these are the things that this is going to support. It's not just going to bring them out here and parade them around in dresses and put them on TV. The money, a lot of this money is actually going out and supporting really good causes.
Absolutely.
And I guess I'm just trying to figure out why is that story being told. And hopefully we're telling that story. I mean, I want that to be part of this podcast. I think it's a lot of the media. When they get on there, they're going to focus on the fashion. It's just like a first lady. She's got this great speech and a great platform for children or whatever. And all you see plastered on TV is who's dressed.
Yes. Well, and another thing that I think gives it a bad name is that media grabs hold of the negatives and runs with that instead of grabbing hold of the good in some cases and running with that. So what is being promoted by the media is the negatives, and that is the objectification of women. And whereas I'm a competitor and I've never felt more empowered than when I'm on stage in a swimsuit after having a baby. And my child weighed 11 pounds at birth. No. So if I could stand here and say that I've never felt more empowered or more beautiful or more confident than when I was in a swimsuit after an 11-pound newborn, then I think that says something. But again, that is different for everyone. I do think that our media grabbing on the negatives and running with that is a big part of it. And then you have, every religion in pageantry that is America, which is no longer pageant. And they're more of a terror competition now. So they no longer want to be classified as a pageant. And I think people are grabbing hold of those little things, and that's what they run with. And so people like me who really don't have, you don't know about pageants. This is not your lifestyle. This is, of course we know, but we live in our own little world of like rhinestones and glitter. So.
Well, I live in a world of rhinestones and glitter and sequins. No one will find out about that. You're right. This is not my world. The guys and I were talking for the last couple of nights about this whole idea. And specifically with the secret show, and I asked them, how many guys are really sitting here thinking, and they're all like,
that's for us, it's for women.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. That's our thing. My boyfriend would not have wanted to watch that with me if I had had it on TV. And I'm sure we always joke, like I'm always like, watch Miss USA with me. You can watch the swimsuit competition. Does that ever happen?
No.
They're not watching that. They don't care about that. So whatever Victoria's Secret wants to say in their defense, that's not what it truly is. It's for us women. And it may be the fantasy, but it's the fantasy that
women have.
Yes.
I agree. I worked when I lived in the Pacific Northwest, I worked in an office filled with women. And it was funny how one of them one day said, we go through all this work just so guys can get through with guys. I said, I'm the only guy that works. And you're telling me, all you women in here and they're like, no, you're competing against each other. This isn't anything to do with me. You're all, doing the whole peacock thing against each other.
Yes.
Because you were doing it before I started working, and you were the only women in this office. You were the only women in this office. And that's the thing that I don't know, I have to remind people of from time to time. I get that women have been subjugated. I get we have a history of that in this country. thankfully we've become more aware, and women are stronger, women can go and do things. But let's be honest and put things in the proper category. And I'm glad to hear you say that you feel like you accomplished something, that you've got a platform to help, speak out, raise money. That I wish to be stories of
Absolutely. It should be. It absolutely should be. But that's not how the media always works.
So what do you think you or Miss Moreland could do to change that?
We just have to keep. This is kind of another thing about pageants. It kind of seems like our sport is becoming less relevant because of all the bad news that the media keeps grabbing hold of. And so that's one thing that it's just a goal for me to be consistently a positive light in the pageant world. And we need more queens that are doing that and that are active title holders and that are working every day. It's so much more than just throwing a crown on and showing up and waving somewhere. It's a lot more than that. There's a lot of work that goes into it. And that is one reason that I stand behind the fitness aspect of things is I think that in fitness they're looking at how hard of a worker you are. I don't really think that they're looking at who has the best body. They're just seeing who is a hard worker and you have once the crown goes on your head, you have 365 days of just hard work ahead of you, and it's hard sometimes. I came in and I was like, everyone's like, how are you today? I'm tired.
I bet.
I'm tired, but I'm healthy and I'm well and I take care of myself, and that's why, I'm exactly. I'm 2 weeks into my reign, but I'm going to be able to sustain my duties for a year because I take good care of myself, and it's just important for us to continuously, as title holders, be working for the good and make sure that whatever is going out in the world is positive, and that is how people are going to grasp onto those good
So what's your schedule? When is all this crazy world end?
Well, I've kind of truly taken, I just talked about health, and let me talk about some reality. I've given myself the month of December to take a break from the hardcore pageant diet. And January is when I will start as far as fitness
You're not going to
goes.
blow up.
No. I'm good. I'm still working out.
You're not going to be doing like ho-hos and ding-dongs all day,
I'm
right?
still working out, but it's nice to just be able to eat some of those foods that I'm like, where have you been all my life? Japanese food, like, where has it been? So, I'm giving myself a little time to like mental health break, and I'll start getting ready really hardcore for Miss Congeniality starting in January. So right now, what I'm doing is planning for 2014. I mean, I still have tons of appearances.
That's what I mean. You're already flying around.
So right now, our plans are what we know of. Things kind of come and go here and there a lot. My direction is, yes, absolutely. So we're looking at for Fashion Week. There's a pageant in Australia that we're looking at being at, and there's just all kinds of things. It kind of pops up here and there. A lot of the traveling that's the good thing, is it's not like, okay, here's your agenda, you have to be at all these things, because we're career work women, and I'm a business owner. So if they handed me a schedule and they were like, well, you're like, this is your life goal, it would be hard, and women wouldn't be.
And I've got a whole different plan for her.
So that's where I was going. You think you
No, absolutely not.
can take over your life? You now you got sponsors, you got to do this makeup shoot, you got to do this TV commercial, you can walk this runway.
Nope, they definitely provide really unique opportunities for us, and it's up to us to run with it and make the most of our year. But that is how the crown landed on my head, is they have to find a woman that they can trust to work. And so I'm just one of those people that when the crown landed in my arms, I was like, let's go. I'm ready for this year to be amazing and to use every single minute to promote this organization and to promote my platform and to promote, everything that we're doing. And that's not always the case, and that's why I was talking about how we need active title holders in the pageant world who don't just get crowned and then fall off the face of the earth. You have to have someone who's ready to work, and it's not a easy job always, but it's very rewarding.
Okay. Hopefully they're paying.
There's different sponsors, and we win a cash prize at the pageant, and there's different things like that. So we're very heavily backed by sponsors.
Okay, I was hoping we said, hey, we get to Sydney, New York, your pageant week. Yourself.
They take very good care of us. They're so
Good. That's what I was hoping to hear.
yes.
It was funny, I was talking to somebody, and they said, Bobby thinks she can't talk about it. You don't want to, I'm mad at
We veer away from religion and politics. We don't talk about.
Oh, is that one of the things they told you?
Yes, I'll just smile and nod and look away from it until we get somewhere else. Well, it's just to be. It's not a rule. It's just the polite thing to do more than anything. You don't want to stir anything. Absolutely. I think it's just the whole pageant etiquette in general, not necessarily specific to any organization. It's just, we represent everything, and that's how we want to. We want everyone. We are your queen, and that's why we don't want to.
You don't want to
No, absolutely not, because even if opinions are opinions, and everyone has a different opinion, and everyone's like, if it hit me, if my opinion doesn't hurt theirs, because I'm open to everyone's opinion, truly, so.
That's kind of what I try to do this podcast. Try to talk to different people, different backgrounds, different opinions. Because what I've noticed in my life is everybody's out there trying their identity. And as a result, it takes time to listen and find out the things we have. Sure, it's not hard at all to sit here and figure out everything that we're doing. If that's all I focus on, then I don't get to see the other side. If I sit down and talk about it, because I guarantee there's people I know, especially with some people that I do, I mean, they're strong, independent feminists. That's how they feel. The idea that they could sit down and hear somebody from your perspective talk about outside of the movie, talk about how you're supporting these women's causes, you're doing these things, using this platform to reach out, talk about safety, and talk about violence against women. I think that tears down those walls.
Yes.
And that's why I like podcast things. So what kind of diet were you on? You said no Japanese food. I've never seen a lot of good Japanese people. There's so many wrestlers.
I mean, mostly just,
Is it a keto diet? Or?
No, I don't do keto. I mean, it is lower carb, obviously, but it's high protein, just a lot of protein.
Like red meat or?
No, I actually can't eat red meat when I'm on my pageant diet. It's mainly turkey and chicken, and then once it gets closer to pageant time, it's
Mono red meat?
I just don't think it's not a nutritionist. I'll just do what they tell me.
So
It's
you
really
have a
not good for you in
nutritionist?
general. I have a personal trainer. Yeah, it's great. It tastes good. On my cheat meals, I could have red meat. Yeah, my cheat meals were like steak and green beans. I was like, that's still healthy.
I think it is. I think it's a great source of protein, especially if you're getting like grass fed or high protein, high fat.
Yes.
I enjoy that. Again, I'm not a nutritionist. But
Me either.
so your trainer
Yes.
develops your diet plan.
Yes.
Okay. So did he have a name for it, or find the diet plan? Hey, she lost 6 pounds.
Really? Yeah, they really just changed it up. We were really good about tracking my weight and my progress and where I needed more work. So my diet and my workout plan was constantly changing. Usually every couple of weeks I would have a new plan just to, if I needed to target a different body area or anything like that, we would just change it up. So it was just ever changing really. A lot of cardio, but I was doing a lot of weightlifting, and that kind of changed things for me. I think that when I was younger, prior to having a child, I really just depended on the fact that I was tall and I was thin, and so I would do a lot of cardio, and I wasn't weight training at all. And so that was one thing that I incorporated that really changed things for me. So I don't know anything about it.
So
They
like
just told
bench
me
pressing, deadlift, squats, what type of kettlebells?
a little bit of everything, yes. So all kinds of different things. I'm still weak. But we incorporate weights. So I'm getting stronger. I think that has been the most satisfying thing of all of it is just, like I said, I'm goal oriented, so I like to push myself and, just being able to go up in weights or anything like that, it's really exciting for me. So, yeah.
So, because I was just curious about what that prep is like and what the, I didn't realize it was a weight training yet, if that makes sense. How many days a week?
Usually 5 or 6.
Oh, so you've got a full schedule.
Yeah, absolutely. And when I was in the midst of like losing all the weight, it was a good 7 days. It's about 4 hours.
Did you journal?
I mean, there are probably text messages to my personal trainer about how I felt about him, but that's probably recorded somewhere. So it was rough. I mean, it wasn't easy, but like I said, I set a goal for myself, and I wasn't going to cheat myself in the long run. I knew that I had to do it, and if I didn't, that I would only blame myself in the long run. So I was honestly excited about it, and it pushed me to get where I needed to be sooner. And I was, like I said, proud. I was able to walk on stage and be proud of myself and be proud of my progress. And that meant more to me than any of it. And I knew that if I walked off the stage and did not take home a crown that day, that I was already a winner. Because I had done so much and improved myself in a long-term way because I had gotten healthy again. And so I knew that I was a winner either way.
So now that brings me another topic, I guess. Nothing pageant related, but there's a lot of people out there who are struggling with body image. And I often hear, in regards to me, I'm not a large man. My brother weighs more than I do. My dad was a large man. Somebody comes to me and showed me a picture of myself, and I'm like, is this you? And I was like, I'm probably 7 pounds lighter than I am right now. Yeah, that was me. And the problem that I get is, well, the frustration I get is people come to me and say, well, it's easy for you. What's easy for me? Well, to stay skinny or to lose weight. No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't easy. I quit drinking sodas. I started moving. I stopped eating certain things. I started eating certain things. So it's not easy for me. I had a why. My why was my health.
Yes.
Now I do have some other vices that I need to work on. I enjoy those. But my goal was my health. That was my why. Your why was you wanted to compete and
Yes.
get back to be your best. I think that's what's missing with a lot of people. They just don't have that why.
I think that, like I said, I entered myself in the pageant because I needed the extra motivation. I wanted to lose weight, but if I got off at 6 o'clock that night and didn't really feel like going to the gym, I didn't have a reason that I had to go to the gym. Yeah, exactly. And when I put a date to it, that changed everything. It changed everything. And I was just a lot more motivated, and that's how I am. I'm goal oriented. If I have an end goal, I'm going to do everything I can to make that happen.
The podcast I was listening to, not this podcast, but this one guy said that he puts unrealistic dates on his he's a pastor. His sermon he gives on Sunday. His sermon in his mind has to be finished by noon on Wednesday. And he said, but I do that because that gives me Thursday and Friday to do the other things that I do in the ministry. So if I get my sermon done by noon on Wednesday, and he said, I've never missed that day. But I like the idea of saying, okay, here's my date, here's my goal. Now, would you say you should set an unrealistic goal? I mean, was your goal to lose, I think, would you say 60 or 80 pounds?
I didn't have a number to it, really. There wasn't in theory, there was probably a number that I wanted to reach as far as where my weight was, but that wasn't as important as just being able to be confident on stage. because I would rather be a healthy and toned 140 pounds than a, you know, sickly, skinny, 120-pound girl. You know, I wanted to look healthy, and I didn't know what number that was for me at that time. So the number wasn't as important. I just really put my trust in my trainer's hands and was just like, let's go, let's make this happen. And
So you guys doing supplements or shakes or?
some supplements, a lot of shakes. I mean, and I don't remember even what they are. I know I was doing like 3 shakes a day. And now I'm able to really do it on my own. I don't work specifically with a trainer anymore because I know what to do to get me there. Occasionally I'll buy like a workout plan from, you know, online trainers basically. So I don't have to work with anyone now just because I've done it and I know how to get where I need to be and to do it the right way. So.
Well, I like that. I like that supplementation, but don't just totally discount the help the trainers can give you.
No.
Because your
of course
body,
not.
you're going to be getting older. You'll have other concerns. And, you know, just go back. It's always, I mean, even Tiger Woods is a coach.
Absolutely.
You know, so. I'm telling you that.
But in the sense of competing, like I said, this is our sport, and so we do have to seek help from people who have more knowledge about different areas than.
Okay, so we talked about the physical area, the health area. What other areas are you seeking help? You get like speech coaches, you get singing coaches.
Well, another area of competition that I have to compete for, obviously, is interview, and it does require a lot of, you know, interview prep, and a lot of that you can do on your own, and it's, you know, your personal platform. So I'm getting interview experience every time I'm in a school system working with kids. I'm getting interview experience sitting here talking to you, and you know, I try to take any public speaking opportunity that comes my way, because even if I act silly, which I typically do, it's still experience. And public speaking used to be terrifying for me. So I've come a long way in that area. I tell people all the time, I am a wild card. Like I never know what I'm gonna say. You never know. Exactly. I tell my mom that all the time. I'm like, I love the interview portion of the competition. I'm like, but I'm a wild card. Sometimes I'm just as surprised as they are as what just came out of my mouth. So that is one area of competition that I prep a lot for, and there are a lot of interview coaches in this area. I prepare now by doing things like this. I'm, you know, on a podcast.
I get better at doing stuff I do know.
Yes, exactly, and mock interviews are huge. A lot of pageant people set up mock interviews for us so that we can go in with 5 completely random people and be interviewed, and they'll give us their feedback and they'll tell us what they think we need to work on, and that is what benefits me the most, actually. Yeah, I have a hard time. For some reason, I have a really hard time working with an interview coach where they are just shooting questions at me. For some reason, I cannot answer them, and I just laugh and I'm silly. So mock interviews and actually real life speaking opportunities is what has benefited me the most.
Yeah, so can I ask you my favorite pageant question? You ready?
I don't know.
We'll see if you get this reference. Describe the perfect thing.
Oh my goodness. Of course, Miss Congeniality. I actually won. I won Miss Congeniality at the Miss United States.
That's an actual thing?
Yes,
You
of
didn't
course.
answer the question.
I know. Not today. That is the answer to that question. Not today is the answer.
I was told she's probably not going to get that reference.
Oh, I totally get that reference. Yes, that
I've
is.
been in so much trouble with my children, and even my ex-wife, I didn't answer the question. My son was born April 25th.
Oh.
And so that's why it's always been a joke in our family.
We call that National Pageant Day now.
Well, you should.
Yes, that's our National Pageant Day. But I'm actually really proud of this. I won Miss Congeniality at the Miss United States pageant this summer. And I'm proud of that because the Miss United States pageant is the pageant that Miss Congeniality was based off of.
Oh,
so
really?
She's beauty and she's grace. She's Miss Congeniality.
Do they say that?
Yes.
They do?
I mean, the contestants do. We
Oh,
take that
I didn't
very
know if that was something
seriously.
they were doing on stage and they came out to that song. Is William Shatner ever actually
No.
hosted that one?
I don't think
Why haven't they
so.
brought him in to host it?
I think
they
that
probably
would
don't want to
be-
bring the mockery. They probably think it's
So, perfect time.
Are you gonna go compete again?
No, I'm happy.
Well, well, and that's my question. I guess that's if you're holding a title, can you compete for an opposing title or
No.
a different title?
No. So,
Okay.
most pageants have a contract, but basically it's my obligation to get ready for Ms. World.
Voted to this one,
Yes,
get ready for Miss World.
absolutely. So that is where all my time and energy and focus is going towards, is becoming your next Ms. World.
So you won Miss Congeniality.
Yes, I was very proud of that too, because that is something that the judges only spend a few moments with you in an interview, and then they see you on stage. All the women are beautiful on stage. So, connecting with them in interview is huge, but the Miss Congeniality title is voted on by the other contestants. So to know that the other contestants, thought you were nice and that you were supportive and that you were encouraging and voted you into that spot, I think that that's really special. So
That is.
it is. And I was just like, that I like sobbed. There's probably pictures. I ugly cried on stage over winning Miss Congeniality. Just
You
because
didn't
it
do
was
the fan
so,
thing?
I don't think I did the fan thing, but it was just, I don't know, it was just so unexpected. I mean, obviously I was nice. And I'm always nice to the other contestants. I wasn't expecting that, and it was really sweet that they voted me for that award.
Oh, I didn't know that. So what is it like? Is it pageant week? Or, I mean, what's that like? So you get there on Monday. What happened?
For this pageant that I just won, Miss US World, I flew in on a Thursday. No, I flew in Friday. And we didn't actually have to be there till Saturday night. So my roommate and I was rooming with a girl from Georgia, and I flew in. She got there a few hours later. We spent that night just kind of hanging out at the resort, and we had dinner. And the next day is when all the contestants started showing up. We had orientation that night, but Reno's a very small city, so we just kind of took Reno by foot and did the touristy thing all day and took tons of pictures. And then that night was our orientation. So that night we had orientation, got to meet all the other contestants for the very first time, which when you've known all these women on Facebook for so long, the whole time that's been leading up to the pageant, you already feel like you know them, and you're just finally in a room face to face with them.
Oh my God, it's you!
Exactly. It's just like the hugging and taking pictures and all that. Oh yes, my son is Batman.
She's got a picture of him on her Facebook where she's holding him. He's wearing a Batman costume. I'm assuming it was for Halloween or just.
Yes. Well, both.
Right.
He's a superhero every day. So, but that happened on Saturday night. Sunday, we had our interview. Well, we woke up and had rehearsals that morning, and then we had our interview competition. And that night, the director took all of us to this, it was like a holiday show there at the resort. So, the little Vegas-like shows, but it was a Reno show. And it was amazing just to have that downtime with the other contestants. So the next morning was the pageant day. We woke up, we had rehearsals, and then we showed back up and we did the pageant. So this was actually a shorter pageant week. It was more of a pageant weekend, but it was so much more relaxing with it being a little bit shorter. So I really enjoyed that. I have usually had to compete for a national pageant, and it's like a week-long ordeal. And by the end, honestly, you're just exhausted and you're ready to go
You don't
home.
care if I want to go.
Absolutely. You're like, at this point, I just want donuts, And my mom, I already said that she's the best pageant mom in the world, and she is. But my mom would always have a dozen Krispy Kreme donuts, like underneath her chair in the audience, ready for me. Because
As soon as it's over.
Because if you lose and you have a dozen Krispy Kreme donuts, did you really lose? No, I don't think so either. So she was always there for me with the donuts. My mom did not get to travel with me to Miss US World, so I did not have donuts waiting on me, so it's a really good thing I won.
Well, I like the idea, and you just said, what you said earlier, the fact that you got to the stage, you've already won.
Yeah.
Even if you lose. And there was that man in the arena speech, I think it was Teddy Roosevelt's man in the arena speech, I don't know if you ever read it. You should Google it and read that. But it's basically saying, don't pay attention to the guy in the stand who's scoffing because you lost. You got in the arena. You engaged in the competition. And yeah, you're the first runner up. And yeah, you can say, hey, being first or last, they're cute little sayings, but you got in there. Even if you didn't place, you got in there. And most of the people sitting home who's running their mouth on wouldn't even try to get it.
Absolutely.
And that's what I try to raise my kids with. That's what I try to, I'm not around a lot of women, young women anymore. A couple of years ago I was the announcer for a roller derby. You ever been to a roller derby? Oh, we gotta go.
Okay.
We
You'll have to let me know.
It's I will. There's a team in Knoxville.
Okay.
So sometimes they're at the college in Maryland, but there's a team in Knoxville called Hard Knocks Roller Derby. And it's women from 18 to, I don't know about that team, but if you just take roller derby as a whole, there's women from 18 to 60 in some cases. Who are skating. And there's women who are fit and thin, there's women who are built like a refrigerator. And they're all in there, all love each other. I've never seen anything more supportive among them, more empowering. I've never experienced what you've experienced, but just watching these women come in there. They have a thing called Roller Derby Save My Soul, which is a saying, like, and basically it's just these women who are just down and out. And they, not in every case, but you get these couple of women who are down and out into a bad relationship, abusive relationship, whatever, and they got into roller derby, they got into this competing, they got into this community. It's a beautiful thing. That's why I think you would love it. Just go watch it. And if you're athletic, it might be something you're like, could be some quad skates, some knee pads.
I think that in pageants, I think that there is also kind of a negative connotation to this, to the contestant and the competition.
Yeah, I think it must
mindset.
be, if you're going to ask me, what do you think they're like? I know they're very catty and vaccinated.
Yeah, and I think that people really do think that. And in reality, it's not like that at all. And I think that I personally don't even look at the other contestants as my competition, but we definitely try I'm my biggest competition.
Right.
Truly, because you never know on a day-to-day basis how I'm going to perform. And on any given day, a different girl could have been crowned. And the judges could have had a different opinion. With a different panel of 5 judges, there could have been a different winner. And so I think a lot of it has to do with timing, but I think that the contestants, we really do a good job about embracing a community over competition mindset. And at the pageant this weekend, or a few weekends ago, they were just saying, is there going to be somebody backstage to zip our dresses? And it was like, we can do that for each other. I mean, we don't need somebody back here. Like, we can help each other. And that is how it truly is. I guess with women and just with people in general, there's always personalities that don't mesh well, and that's fine. But I've never been in a situation where I was like, wow, those were the mean girls or anything like that. Like, everyone is so supportive and uplifting and just amazing overall. And that's what I try to embrace that even after the fact. I'm sure that a lot of people were hurt the day that the pageant happened, but those women who hold state titles are so crucial to my reign and to my success. I actually reached out to them yesterday and was just kind of saying, like, hey ladies, December is almost here. What plans do you have? Like, what are you doing in your state right now to make a difference in the world? Because I don't want them to go home and sit down and give up because they didn't win the national crown, because they're so important to me and they're important to the entire organization, and I can't be successful unless they're successful. So I think that is a huge part of it too, is just making sure. And the other thing is they're all so accomplished. They are so accomplished. They've done so much in their lives, and they also have powerful stories that people can tell. So that's actually something that you can kind of look for coming soon on my Facebook page, is that I'm going to be doing some Facebook Lives with each of the contestants, because I want their stories to be heard. And their story is completely unique and different, and it's a story that I can't tell. So now that Facebook has that really nifty feature where we can do a Facebook Live and bring in people from somewhere. So that's going to be something that is coming to my Miss US World 2019 Ashley Ingram Facebook page, is I'm going to start promoting these women's stories, because I want to give them the platform to tell the story that they would have told if they had been Miss US World. So, and I hope that all of those women come back next year and compete for the crown again, because they were all amazing. I mean, it definitely was anybody's ball game. It was
That's a very humbling way to look at it, and very inspirational.
Yeah.
That humbling in the sense that, hey, anybody could have won.
Yeah,
Could have been
absolutely.
a totally different day. One judge could have made an entirely different difference. It could have been a day longer, and I could have done something.
It could have been.
It's very
I'm a wild
humbling.
card. I told you, I'm a wild card.
Wild card.
Yeah, you never know what I'm gonna do. So it was. I'm thankful that the judges saw something in me, and they thought that they knew that the crown could be trusted in my hands, and that I really had, I had the motivation, and I'm ready to take off running this crown and do great things this year. So I'm thankful that I was the one that they chose. But with a different panel of judges, it could have been.
Well, it's inspiring too that you're also looking at it like, okay, how do I help these other girls? What can I do to help them? And I love the idea of trying to get their stories out there. I think that. It was me. I thought I turned that on. I love the idea of trying to get their stories out there, which is again what I'm trying to do with this podcast, is because people have stories that you wouldn't believe. There's some national known podcasts that are interviewing these great celebrities and people that are highly accomplished. And the thing I like about that is you're getting to find out who they really are. You're getting to dig deeper into them. The thing I like about mine is I'm taking an average person who come from a small town, who's worked very hard at something, who's had their failures in life, and had their successes, and just trying to tell their story. One was a yoga teacher. My yoga teacher, we were just talking, and I had her on the podcast recently. I've had, my mom, after my dad passed away, I had her on the podcast. And just letting people get into that real life, because oftentimes all we hear about is the glitz and glamour. You sit down with these girls and do a Facebook Live or Facebook Watch video or a podcast, or via Skype or talking to them like we are, and let them get their story out there and talk on the platform is empowering. And I hope you great success at that.
Thank you. I'm excited, and I just want them. They have unique stories to tell that I can never tell, and they've overcome so much. Like each and every one of them has overcome something in their lives that it needs to be shared, and it's going to touch different people in different ways than just my individual story can.
Right. You're absolutely right, especially when they hear from somebody else's perspective, and it's something that maybe you've never experienced. Earlier, you were talking about you didn't feel right wanting to represent the violence against women.
Yes.
I thought that was very humbling as well, because I'm not saying you couldn't do it and do it well. Just
And I'm gonna do it. I'm absolutely going to do it, and I'm gonna step into my role to educate women on this. But I think that I knew that there were contestants that deserved that Nowza title that were closer to the issue, and that the magnitude of that issue is just huge in our society, and that's why the Me Too movement has really just caught wind and people have ran with it. So I knew that there were delegates that were really going to do amazing things with that title, whereas I'm going to stand, since I don't have that personal story that all have been affected to some degree by
whether a mother, a sister, a friend, you may not have personally dealt with an action against you personally.
But we're all touched by that in some way, and I knew there were women that were closer to it that really deserved that title, and there's a wonderful woman in that position now that's going to do great things with that, and I'm going to do my part educating and raising funds for Nowza as well. So now there's absolutely, and now I get to help. I get to do both, and that's really amazing. So I'm excited about partnering with Lydia. And we're taking Nowza to the next level this year. Lydia lives in New York. Moving in with you, Lydia.
She's close. I get on my podcast.
I know. Lydia's in New York. She's doing amazing things. So.
That is amazing.
Thank you so much. I'm still so excited. I'm still like a giddy 5-year-old, and our score works is interviews 30%, 30%. So there's 90% of your score, and then the last 10% is for on-stage question. There's no award for on-stage question. It happens at the very, very end, and then there's no award that can make all the way forward. and said that I had an interview award. And they were like, but don't go, you should win the fitness award and the evening gown award as well.
Oh, wow.
And so in my head, I'm just like, is it mathematically possible that I've even lost this pageant at this point? And I was so confused, and I was standing there like, did I win? Could somebody just tell me if I won? Because that's 90% of the score that they've just given me the awards for. And then I had to go stand back in line. I'm looking at the two women beside me, and I'm just like, did I win? And then they had to start crowning the Now ambassador and the Miss US World ambassador and our international title holder, and then the Miss US World Elite, which is our 40 and up title. And so I'm standing there all this time, and I'm just like, I'm already crying because I'm like, did I win? And I knew that one of two things was about to happen. I was going to win, or I had won all of this and I was still going to lose. And I was like, oh my goodness, what is about to happen? And in pageantry, you have not won until a crown is on your head.
Right.
And you may still not have won at that point if Steve Harvey is your... So, we won't be having a hard time today.
I'll give him more time. He deserved it. I think he handled that well.
He handled it very well, but that's probably my worst nightmare, is something like that happening. So I was just standing there in complete shock, and when I was standing in the final two, mind you, at this point, the live feed completely stopped. The phone that they were doing the Facebook Live from actually died as soon as they said, you know, the final two, please
I
step
was wondering why I
forward.
couldn't find any videos on this.
Yes, so the phone died. So my whole family at home did not, and all of my watchers, I'm from a small town, so I had a ton of support here at home because everyone knows me. Nobody knew what happened. So as soon as, you know, I won, I was, it is terrible luck, but
It's terribly funny.
it is. So that
I
was.
just see him all, what?
Yes, so they're all watching. They're like, in the final two, please step forward, broadcast interrupted. And so nobody knew if I won or not. But I was in complete shock and just kept asking everyone around me what just happened and kept touching my crown. I was like, what is happening? But it was just like all those years of hard work had ended in that. So it was really good. It's still overwhelming to think about. I could cry. I'm a crier, so.
So the pictures you saw, you're very made up.
Yes.
I think you look better like this.
Thank you.
By the way.
You have to be a little bit more drastic on stage. You're very far away from the judges, so everything's a little bit.
Over the board.
Yes, it's
I
for
mean,
sure.
hair, I thought, we're back in the 80s? Is this a glamour shot?
Yes.
I don't mean that to be mean.
No, I understand.
Do
So
they do your hair and makeup, or do you do it?
I had a hair and makeup artist, yes.
Okay.
Yes, so I had a Seattle-based hair and makeup team. That was actually two of them. One did my hair, one did my makeup. And it's one of those things that I don't like to have to do. I can probably do my makeup. I don't really want to fool with having to do my hair at a pageant because I get too stressed out. So it's just nice to kind of have that in someone else's hands. It's one less thing for me to worry about, and they'll take care of it. They'll be at Miss World with me too.
Good for you.
Yes.
That's what I was wondering. What about the gowns and clothing wear?
So
How do you
actually,
source that or sponsor?
well, actually, I model for Jonathan Payne, who is a Project Runway designer. So if you've heard his name, he's been on Project Runway twice, I think. He's actually based in Nashville, so I actually model for him at Atlanta markets, and so I always try to wear Jonathan because his gowns, him as a person, he's just a phenomenal human being, and I absolutely love him. And so when I wear his gowns, I'm promoting him, and I've never felt more beautiful than I do in a Jonathan Payne gown. So and it's partially my job to wear his gowns well, so I know I can wear them well on stage. So I get to try out his gowns when I model for him in Atlanta, and that's usually where I choose my gowns. He actually made a custom green gown for me that I wore to Miss United States this summer, and then I wore like the icy blue dress that you saw in the pictures that I wore this time.
It was a beautiful gown.
It was beautiful, and I won best gown, so.
It was a beautiful gown. I did look at that. I think that's the one where you're kind of sitting and it's flowing out.
Yes.
Right. I was just like,
Yeah, so he's my wardrobe guy. I definitely put my wardrobe in his hands. For fitness, I just had to wear a fitness outfit. So exactly. So that was kind of different for me. Typically, it's swimsuit. So that was, I mean, that was brand new to me, and that was definitely a challenge that I faced in this pageant was not being able to fully wrap my head around, you know, I'm not in 6-inch heels, I'm wearing tennis shoes on stage, and I'm not in a swimsuit, I'm in like a tank top and a tennis skirt, so that was very different for me, but it was very good, and I mean, they're judging you on confidence more than anything, so.
Well, I think there's a lot to that. You were talking earlier about, think of it more as these kids are going to perform.
Yes.
There's a lot to it would show confidence on stage.
Mm-hmm.
Remember my son was getting in the theater. That was one of the things I was trying to tell him. Look, you just got to own it.
Yes.
Because you can tell if you don't own it.
Mm-hmm.
You could sit there and say in the audience, you look at somebody that's there and not.
Yes.
He's got a great stage presence, by the way. But, and I think that's a key thing is, sure, if I see you come out in this outfit and I can tell that you're just not well, that's not going to bode well for the judge. I'm going to judge them. But if they come out there and they love it, I think you said that you had the option there to wear a swimsuit?
No, you could not wear a swimsuit, but
You could wear fitness wear.
yes.
But something you wear.
Exactly, and I think that it's really neat because you can be as covered or, you know, uncovered as you want to be. You know, some women wore sports bras. I was wearing a tank top, and then there were women in the athletic jackets that zipped up. And, you know, I was wearing a skirt. Some of the girls were wearing shorts, and some of the women were wearing full yoga pants. But they weren't being judged on that. They were being judged on how confident they were in whatever they chose to wear. So I think that was
That
really...
would make it more difficult, wouldn't it?
I don't think
I mean,
so.
more difficult for you to decide what to wear.
You had a lot of options. There were a lot of options there, but I chose a skirt just because I felt like more people would wear yoga pants or shorts, and I always want to be different. So, you know, that was my thought process in choosing to wear a skirt. And
Here's my question. This is a fitness wear competition.
yes,
You're wearing a skirt. Do you work out in a skirt?
it's a tennis skirt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a tennis skirt. So,
So
some people do. I
I'm just
don't.
saying, I'm imagining you in there trying to lift weights in a skirt.
No, but it's a tennis skirt, so you know, it
Skirts
was
are different than what I
Nike.
think they are.
It was Nike, so it had, of course, it had shorts underneath it. It was a skirt, technically.
Got it.
Yes,
Okay.
so, you know, I just was looking for kind of something unique in that area. And, you know, I make tennis dresses as well, so I wasn't going to wear a dress, but that was an option that was there. It was, of course, to wear a dress if I wanted to. But I kind of looked at all options and tried to take a different path because I wanted to stand out.
Do they have a talent portion here?
No. So actually in pageantry, and typically since they're not a pageant anymore, that doesn't count, but Miss America is the one that still does talent. And some other pageant systems have an optional talent competition, but Miss America is really the only one who still has a talent competition.
Because I just imagine girls going to 30 seconds.
Yes, yeah, well, no, we don't I competed in the Miss America organization when I was 18.
Wow.
18, 19, maybe a little when I was 20, just on the local level. I did not go to Miss America, and I didn't compete in the Miss Tennessee State pageant either. That was where I was first runner-up in just about every local prelim that I did. And I sang, and once I stopped competing in the Miss America organization, I realized how it was just an added stress for me personally.
Because of the talent.
Yeah, because I was never going to be the best singer on stage. I'm definitely not the worst, but there's always going to be someone better than me.
Yeah, and singing is so subjective.
It is. It absolutely is. And it has so much to do
Once you
with
get to do it,
yes.
it's subjective.
Right, and it has so much to do with song choice and this and that. There were so many different factors. And when I started, you know, when I kept competing and I was no longer having to prepare for the looming talent portion of the competition, I started really having fun. And some girls compete in the Miss America organization simply for that talent competition. think that in the pageant world, I said that, it's not for everyone, and I do truly believe that. But I also think you have to kind of find your home in the pageant world. And not every system is going to fit you and your beliefs and your goals. And that was kind of how it was for me. The Miss America organization was not it for me. And I found my home in the United States organization, and the United States organization led me here. So, yeah.
I didn't realize how many different organizations there were.
Yeah, there are, and the main ones that you hear a lot, Miss USA, Miss United States, Miss America, they're all up there, the Miss World organization.
Miss Universe.
Yes, well, and Miss USA goes to Miss Universe, just like Miss US World goes to Miss World. And people also kind of get that mixed up, but it's one of those things that, it's important to us, it's not important to your everyday person. They don't know the difference. And
I was ignorant.
well, when I was Miss Tennessee, United States, when Miss America or Miss USA would come on TV, people would be like, well, where are you? And I was like, United States. I'm going to Miss United States. So,
See, and that I saw that, and when I saw him say United States, I thought, okay, what's the other one called? Miss America? Is it just Miss Tennessee?
yes,
Okay.
they just kind of go by Miss Tennessee.
Okay. That's what I was, wait a minute, is there two different? And then I started down that rabbit hole, and it is a rabbit hole.
It is a rabbit hole. It is a rabbit hole if you're not versed in that world. It is definitely a rabbit hole.
Well,
And
yeah.
it's still very confusing. It's very confusing.
Well, and then, I'm trying to figure this out and get ready for the podcast, which normally I don't try to do a lot of prep.
Right. It's better that way, probably.
It is. I normally don't try to do a lot of prep, and I didn't do a lot here, but, I don't know what to ask if I don't know what to ask.
Exactly.
And so I thought, well, find out. Are they all catty, backstabbing skanks? Or is it all child helicopter bombs? How many people? I just want to know, and I'm glad you come on here to dispel the myths.
Yes. Well, I will say, I have my core group of friends that I've had since high school, and of course, my core group of friends that I met in college. But my other best friends in this world are all women that I've met in pageantry.
I meant to bring that up earlier. Have you stayed in contact with one of them?
Oh yes. A lot of them are still my best friends that I talk to every single day. And there are some that you connect with better than others. That's just
life.
That's just life. I haven't had any that I didn't like or anything like that. Just we didn't click as well as, and a lot of it also has to do with you're typically in alphabetical order. So every single thing you do, I'm around Texas and South Carolina and, those states. So those are usually the girls that I click really well with because I've spent a week with them, everybody in alphabetical order. So let me go back here with Texas and South Carolina and South Dakota, So, that plays a huge part in it too, is just, where you're at
It's
in
who
the
you're
lineup.
with.
Yeah, it really is. And, but I've made some of the absolute best friends through pageantry. And, like I said, still talk to them on a daily or weekly basis. So,
Somehow or another, sometimes. But I guess through Facebook groups or.
yeah, we just, Facebook, Instagram, everything.
Yeah.
We're probably more Instagram, but we definitely stay in touch with those ladies. And I like to follow what they're doing. Like I said, the women who do pageants are women who strive for excellence in all areas of life. So even if they're not doing pageants anymore, they're doing big things in their lives. So I like to watch what they're doing in their careers, and if they are still competing in pageants, what they're doing, and how their families are doing and everything. So it's really neat. And it's kind of nice knowing that I pretty much have a couch to sleep on in every state in the country.
That is nice, though.
It is nice to know that. I pretty much have a couch in every state.
It is nice.
So that's a unique thing.
That's right. If I'm broke down, I can call somebody.
Yeah, I know last year I was kind of looking at going to Utah, and I was like texting all my pageant friends from Utah, and I was like, I may be there in January. So, it's just, it's really neat how I've made these friends all across the country, and they're women that I would have never met in my life if it hadn't been
No
for,
other world.
Nope.
That's what I tell people that I like about roller derby, because you got women from such a diverse background.
Yes.
I've met doctors who skate and girls who are just trying to make it through life, working in a coffee shop with a kid, and in no other world these girls have come together
Yes.
and loved each other. Now,
they're a more diverse group because, like I said, you have girls who are tatted up, atheists, feminists. And you get these conservative Christian women, but they absolutely love each other.
Right.
And they will go to the mat for each other, and in no other world would they ever met and built that relationship. And I think that's an interesting point that you make here with these pageant ladies, that you have these highly competitive, I would say, very goal-oriented, very driven women who typically, like I said, the stereotype is very catty or whatever, there's more other words, but they love each other, they love each other. You feel the great bond. See, that's another story that needs to get out there.
I know. It really is. It's very special, and what we do is unique, and a lot of people don't understand it, and I'm aware of that. I'm so aware of that. Especially, you know, a lot of people associate it with the kids, and they're like, you're 26. Like, why are you wearing a crown? Is it your birthday? Are you getting married? I'm like, no. You know, so I understand that it's something that's very unique and that a lot of people don't understand, and a lot probably never will. But it's something that, it's where I have found my purpose and where I can really be the best version of myself, because that's what it takes to do well in pageantry, is just showing up and being the best you that you can be in all areas of your life. So I never feel better about, you know, where I'm at physically, mentally, all of that, spiritually, than when I'm ready to compete for a pageant, because I have been working on myself so hard, and I know that I'm ready. Miss World, Robbie Canner, actually told me that when she was preparing for Ms. World this summer, she said, I prepared so well that I could have fallen flat on my face and done it gracefully. And I was like, you go, girl, like, you go. So she is incredible. And, you know, just thinking that I'm competing to be, like, stand into her place is just crazy to wrap my head around, because she is a phenomenal human being, and she's just doing amazing things as well. So, and she's in Australia, so.
I saw a news video of her. I didn't watch it. I just saw it. I'm going to watch it later. But that again was when I was doing my research. What, I don't want to use the word research. That again was when I was just thumbing around trying to figure out what this was. I didn't know if that was associated with you.
Yes.
The same organization or what. So I'll have to go back and watch that video.
Yes.
I'll link to it in the show notes. Not this one. This one's live. Nobody's watching, but that's okay. I didn't want to because I want to go back and see if this works.
They can go back and watch us.
Right. Well, and so evidently what I'm doing is I'm streaming live on my YouTube channel. I didn't tell nobody I'm streaming live on my YouTube channel. I put a link up anywhere that I'm streaming live on my YouTube channel because I want to go watch my YouTube channel and see if this works.
Yes.
I don't even know if we're getting sound. So I hook this up to go do that. I'm getting sound here.
Yes.
So I don't know if it's syncing there. So this is really just a test.
Well, I'm glad that I could have been here for the test version.
Yeah, I think we need more of you in it. Less of me. So yeah, I don't know. I talked to one guy, he's got a camera, and he's like, yeah, no, I'll come record it for you. I'm gonna get the video from it, upload it. It'll be easier to upload it by streaming versus getting Wi-Fi or something.
Well, you may have learned a new trick, so.
I may have.
You may have learned a new trick.
I may have, and if I did,
That'll be awesome, yes.
you go first.
Yay.
The son's 4 years old.
Yes. His name is Jansen. So he's Jansen. Yeah.
Where'd you get that? It's such a cute.
Yeah, well, I'm an Ashley, and I did not want my child to have, nothing wrong with the name Ashley, it's just my name was so common. I remember when I was in 8th grade English, there were like 6 of us in the same class, and our teacher put us all in one row, and there was, put us all in the same row, so we were sitting like back to back, or you know, front to back, and there was a boy named Robert that would sit in the back, and he'd say, hey Ashley, and we'd all turn around, and I was just like, I'm not doing that to my child. I know, right? Robert was a hoot, so he was always like the class clown for people, so it drove me crazy, and I wanted out of that class so bad because there were so many of us. So I just knew that I would never give my child a basic name like mine. So yeah, I just really wanted something unique, and I fell in love with it. And I really don't even know how I came across that name.
Well, that was my next question. How did you find the name Jansen?
I don't even know. Janz.
Okay.
Yes.
So there's a name Jansen, J-N-T-Z-E-N. I know that name.
Mm-hmm.
It's a beach in Portland, Oregon.
Yes.
Jansen Beach. It's a shopping mall area now. So I know that, so I didn't know that.
Well, that's how most people pronounce his name, even though it's not technically correct. But yeah, after I named him that, there was a family like in Etowah that said that they had a Jansen, and then one of our family friends had a stepson named Jansen. So there are a couple. It's definitely not like I formulated a brand new name.
Does it have a meaning?
No, I mean it might.
I didn't know if you looked it up.
No.
I didn't know if you said something to me.
I did.
So we did that with my daughter. We named my daughter Kaylee.
Mhm.
Spell it K-A-Y-L-E. And lo and behold, she's getting in school. I always go. And they're all spelled different.
Yes.
All of them are spelled different. But I did have one instance where she was in elementary school, and her linguistic teacher who teaches you how to use language, informed my daughter that she was mispronouncing her name, that it should be Kaylee. And my daughter kind of said something about it. She was a little upset about this. You know, she was a young little girl, so anything upset. So I called the principal, I talked to the principal, and she said, Mr. Brittle, I'm sure you can understand this confusion and the L-E-A at the end of her name. I said, no, I don't. I do not eat mashed potatoes and peas. I don't drink a glass of tea, and a whale doesn't swim in the sea. I can't think of one word in the English vocabulary that ends in EA that's pronounced EA. I can't think of one.
That's so funny.
And I said, and furthermore, I'm the dad.
I named her that.
If I spell her name Q-R-T, pronounce it Kaylee, I'm right. And okay, Mr. Bridwell, and so she never had that problem at school again, but my daughter would after that when she got her notes sometimes, she'd sign it Q-R-T.
I can't believe that someone would say that to a child, but
Well, that one got me. I get it if you're obviously mispronouncing a word.
yes.
But that, when you're talking with somebody's name, it's a little different. Let's do some more research, a little
Very.
bit more sensitive. Be more sensitive. But that did shock me, because I knew no Kaylee's were around, that all of a sudden this ended up being a famous name. Now my son, we just gave him a boring name. I love his name. But as far as the history of names, we didn't even believe it.
Mhm.
I don't think we met one other Levi when I was growing up. It was just a unique name.
Mhm.
A common name, an easy name, and everybody knows. But it's just weird how the name of a child works. You think, oh, I got a unique name, I can't worry about it.
I say that all the time. I think that was one of the biggest pressures is in having a child is naming it, because they're stuck with that for the rest of their lives.
No kidding.
So it's like, oh gosh, I hope you like it, because I did.
How many people's embarrassed their middle name?
What?
I wonder why.
I don't know. I don't know. Mine was passed down from my grandmother, so it was a little bit older, and when I was younger, I didn't love it, but now that I'm older and I have my grandmother's name, I love it, you know. So mine's Marie, so I love it now, but when I was little, you know, it sounded older to me.
Right.
So I didn't love it then, but now my grandmother's gone, and I'm thankful that I have that middle name, so.
My daughter's middle name was passed down from both of her maternal grandmother or great grandmother. So that's her name's Irene. So it's Kaylee Irene. And it's an old name.
Yes.
But it's both of them. It was my grandmother and then I think my wife's grandmother's. So
Well, my grandmother Marie had a sister Irene, so.
there you go. There you go. So that's how she got that name. Levi was, we were going to name him Noah Taylor. That's what we were going to name him. And the problem I had with that was every time my mom and my brother would call me, how's Noah? I haven't met the little jerk. I don't know. He's still, I don't know. Every time they'd call me, they'd say, how's Noah? And it just raked on my ever-loving nerves. Just raked on it. So we're at home in Kentucky one day and I get that phone call again. And Mom was like, how's Noah? I said, we're not naming Noah.
You like it too much.
We're like 3 weeks away from birth.
Oh my goodness.
the wife looks at me with like, what?
We're not.
Nope, not naming no one. And I just made that decision. We got off the phone and she said, we're 3 weeks away. You gotta do something. Well, we'll find another name. In 3 weeks. So we start this search and we found this name Levi's. Kicked that around and we finally came to Levi Walker. He'll actually go by Levi Walker. He said Levi Britwell sometimes. So just we'll go by Levi Walker. And that's our fault. We called him like that. There were 2 state parks in Kentucky. There's a Levi Jackson State Park and Thomas Walker State Park. And they're both right near the site. So I was like, oh, you named him after the state parks. No, I did not. If I was going to name him after a state park, it'd be like Red Clay or Cherokee or something. It wouldn't be. It'd be one in Tennessee, not Kentucky. That was, how long were you in labor?
58 hours.
Are you kidding me?
No. 58 hours before they gave up and decided I was going to have a cesarean. So,
Well, I wanted to
11
ask you
pounds.
that earlier.
Yeah. Yeah, so 58 hours before they were like, are you ready to give up now? So.
Oh, you wanted to do this?
No, I did not want to have a C-section, but at that point,
No,
I
I
was,
meant you were wanting to go the natural.
I was trying without knowing that he was 11 pounds.
You'd think they would know that.
Well, they had told me when I was 38 weeks pregnant that he was 8.5 pounds. So I should have known. I should have known, but I didn't.
I
So,
mean, it's not like he's 8.5 pounds.
yeah.
He's not going to grow any further.
Yeah, and I was about 41 weeks when I finally had him. So, yeah, he was a big boy. He still is. He's still big for his age. So,
I thought he was older in the picture. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't look too in depth at it. I thought he was older than 4.
he just turned 4 in September, and most people, when they see him, think he's about 6.
Yeah.
So-
I was thinking 6 or 7, but again, I was just looking at the picture.
I don't notice it because
It was nice.
he's the one I'm always around, and to me, he's a baby. But when I see him around kids his age, that's when I'm like, oh, you're ginormous, okay.
Right.
So yeah, that's when I notice.
Is his dad large or?
Yeah, I mean, I'm 5'8", so for a female,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
I'm very
that's
tall too. And his dad's like 6'4", 6'5", so yeah, we're just all pretty big people. I actually, at birth, I was 9 pounds, 12 ounces. So I was 10 pounds, pretty much. So I was a big baby. I knew he was going to be a big baby, for sure.
All the stars were aligned.
Yeah, but I had threatened, it doesn't work, but I had threatened his doctors and said that I would not have a C-section and that they better not let him get too big.
How are they going to stop him? What are you?
Oh, when they told me he was 8.5 pounds, I was like, I'm good, let's go, I'll stay today. We're going to induce this baby, we're done. I'm done. He's 8.5
How
pounds.
big were you? I mean, you must have just been huge.
I was. I mean, I'm tall, so I have
Right.
a lot of place for, the baby to go, but it was still, I was huge. I looked like a whale.
Oh my God.
It was-
Were you miserable? Were you like?
Well, it was one of those situations where he was due in September, so I was at my biggest, July, August, September, the hottest months of the year. And I kept thinking I was miserable, but then I was like, no, you don't deserve to be miserable. You're healthy, the baby's healthy. You don't get to be miserable. But when they told me he was 11 pounds, I was like, I was miserable, and I don't care what any of you say. I was thinking he was probably 8 or 9 pounds, so I was like, no, Ashley, you do not deserve to be miserable. You're
Tough
fine.
it up.
Yes.
Women, generations before you have had babies, quit being a baby here.
You don't get to be the baby, so
That's right. And all of a
yes.
sudden you found out, oh, he's 11 pounds.
I was kind of,
I had every right to be a baby.
and of course I had him in football season, so they were all laughing and saying that Butch Jones was downstairs trying to recruit him, and I was like, I think I'm still cut open. If we could not talk about how big he is while I'm still on the operating table, that would be good. So, yeah, that was definitely, for me, that was very scary, but so I never had a little baby. He was always the big boy, so,
Ouch.
yeah,
And just, I don't know.
it was rough. But he's great. He was worth it. We forget and we're like,
I always hear that. I always talk to women and they say that as soon as the baby's born, the pain's gone.
yes, you forget all about it. So I did. I forgot. It took a while. It wasn't like instant forget. It was a few
Well,
weeks.
you had a different, you had surgery.
Yes.
The woman I've talked to who's valuable, it's just like, it's over.
It's gone. And they sent me home with an 11-pound baby when I couldn't lift 10 pounds.
So how do you do that?
You lift it anyways. I tried to behave myself and like, I wouldn't pick him up. I would try to have people hand him to me and then just hold him. It was more of the picking up that they didn't want me to do, but after a few days I was home by myself with him. I had to pick him up, you know. So that was a challenge, but you know, it was one of those things they have to know that I'm gonna have to pick him up one way or another. So
I guess it's just, okay, don't do a lot.
right, and be smart. So that's what I tried to do. I was just like, well, you know, I have to pick up my child. He's my child. Someone has to take care of him.
Well, my daughter, when we just had her, I got in a bad accident. Arms all busted up, in a sling. And I was at home by myself with her. She's in diapers, she needs fed, she needs
Everything,
needs.
yes.
So here I am in one arm trying to figure out how to change my daughter's diapers, get her dressed, and do that because the wife was at work. Same thing happened when I busted my foot. I'm on crutches, she's in her bed, I have to go get her. I can't walk on this foot, it's broken up. So I put my crutches down, lower her little bed down, get on my knees, and grab her, and then I walk on my knees to the house, wherever I need to go with her. You do, you figure things out.
You do. It's parent mode. We go into survival mode and we do what we can. So
What's his favorite thing?
his favorite thing, he loves superheroes, of course. We talked about that. He thinks he's Batman. But it's not just Batman. It's like on any given day, it's Batman or Spider-Man or Captain America, Superman. It's everybody. One of his favorite things right now in this moment is The Grinch. We watch The Grinch every night.
Are you serious?
My 4-year-old can quote the entire movie. And I'm not talking about the good, sweet Grinch that just came out. I'm talking about the Jim Carrey Grinch. That's, you know, I mean, so my son runs around quoting The Grinch, which is great for a 4-year-old.
There's worse things.
You know, it's the funniest movie. It is really good. So I don't mind that that's his thing right now, but it is funny to quote the, and I put it on my Instagram story all the time, like him quoting The Grinch. And he actually, Small Town Christmas here in Sweetwater was Saturday night, and I have videos of him out in the street dancing with The Grinch. So he's living for The Grinch right now, but
That had to be so cool.
it was. And he still talks about it. He's like, I danced with The Grinch, and I have to show him all the videos. So that was really exciting.
Did you have brothers?
Okay, so I was an only child for 12 years. And then my mom had my sister when I was 12. So I had a sister. I still, this sounds selfish, I still have an only child mentality.
Oh yeah.
Because I was an only child for so long, but my mom actually had my brother when I was 17 years old.
Oh my God.
So yeah, we're worlds apart, and actually my brother, I think, was 5 when I had my son. So yeah,
So they can grow up together.
yeah, they don't get along very well right now, but I'm hoping they'll be friends one day, maybe. My brother, my son is my brother's punching bag at this point because he's little and he doesn't defend himself. But I keep telling my brother he's very big. He already is. He's 4. He's almost as big.
He's gonna outgrow you.
Very soon. Jansen's 4, my brother's 10, and he's already almost as big as my brother. And that's what I tell Parker. I'm like, one of these days he's gonna lay you out, and I'm not gonna stop it. You've been so mean to him all his life. So I tell him all the time, I'm like, I'm just gonna let it happen. I'm gonna pretend I don't see it.
Well, the reason I ask is because I'm always fascinated at watching young women who have boys that were never around
Boys.
boys. Yeah, they had a dad,
Yes.
and they might have had a brother, but they weren't around it from a mother's standpoint. What's that like? I mean, you learning stuff? Is it like, is it changing you in any way?
In a sense, but then again, it's like, you know, she had my sister when I was 12, and I was a mature 12-year-old, so I helped a lot with my sister. And then she had my brother when I was 17, so I really modeled him a lot. Now, in a different sense because I didn't want to have to babysit him. I didn't want to have to be obligated to him, but like I wanted to play with him and feed him and change him and do all those things.
Yeah.
So in a sense, it kind of felt like I'd already had one, if that makes sense. Just
No,
because
it does.
I was,
It does.
yeah, I mean, I was older when my mom had my brother, and just helping with him, I actually, knowing the difference in a boy and a girl, when I was pregnant, the whole time I was just like, please let it be a boy. I actually wanted a boy, and people think that that's so funny because
I get it.
most
I get it.
girly girls want a girl to dress up, and I did not. I was like, I need a six-figure job before I can have a girl. I need this to be a boy. So,
Yeah,
and then
because
he
they're
was.
easier.
I think so. He's a mama's boy, so he's definitely attached to my hip, and that's challenging at times. But I try to enjoy it because I know that I'll probably never get that lucky again. I won't have like the cuddler, the one that loves me like that, probably ever again. So I'm thankful for it. Just sometimes I'm like, I'm not a jungle gym, you know.
See, that's the thing about boys.
They love their moms.
They love their mom.
They do.
They do. But boys show love physically.
Yes.
So you were talking earlier about how boys in the playground fight and they're best friends. Well, that's a respect. They love each other. You get guys, even the boys who are great friends, you look out in the yard, they're falling around, beating each other up and having fun. And they're physical. Boys, when they come up to their moms, you know, they're not hit, you know, punch, playing around. They like to wrestle. They like to just get in there and get out. But they only do that with people that they like.
Yes.
People that they love. And then, will they have to get into a fight? Okay, if they have to get into a fight, I will, but then I won't like that person.
Yes.
But boys are different that way.
I agree because people say all the time that they're like, how do you get such good pictures with him? And you know, social media is a highlight reel. I don't post the bad pictures, but I'm like, there was one I remember right before I was leaving for Miss United States in 2017, and everyone was like, that picture's so cute, and I was like, I literally got punched in the eye before that. Like he socked me in the eye, and I was like, oh my gosh, I leave for this pageant tomorrow, and I'm gonna have a black eye. Like my kid just punched me, and he just like got excited and just hit me in the eye, and I
So
was
it wasn't an anger thing.
no, he really didn't want to take the picture, and I've tried to tell him that the best thing he can do is just cooperate and take the picture because I'm going to make him take it anyways. And yeah, he hit me in the eye. But everyone was like, that picture's so cute. And I was like, the moments before were not cute. They were not. So yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Well, they are, and that's why I said boys will be boys, but that's why I'm teaching people.
Yes.
And that's the phrase that a lot of people, I mean, I guess I had it. And you teach them, hey, we don't hit women.
No.
We don't hit women.
Preferably not.
Right, we don't do that. So opening at that point, and then I know sometimes things happen. Levi, we'll be at a basketball game.
No, you're not. I called your mom.
I don't know. Like he's sitting right here. And he's up in the stands and he's got some dad in a headlock that he don't know. You know?
No, it's amazing what they do.
Right. And then the dad's like, I'm good.
I know. It's being a parent is definitely a different experience all around. You learn a lot about yourself when
You do.
because there's only so much that you can do, and you know,
Well, they're
just
different.
try to raise them the best that you can. And
Potty training was different. I just taught Levi to go outside. If you're outside, just go. And that was a great idea until I'm driving home from work one day and I'm looking at this really nice thing, watching this thing on a golf course. And all the cars in front of me, the brake lights are going on, and I see all these people waiting there. Pulling up to our house, and right as I pull into our drive, I see my son in the yard, his pants down around his ankle, he's peeing over the ditch, and all those cars are driving by, and he's just waving around.
oh, thing for sure.
It is.
I never taught Jason to do that. There have been interstate emergencies where
Right,
that
right, right,
had
right.
to be done. But gosh, I didn't.
I'll teach him. Let me meet him.
I didn't get him potty trained until he was like 3 and a half. And I was like, I'm gonna send this kid to kindergarten in diapers. And I did the good old bribing method, and I went to the Dollar Tree and just got a bunch of dollar toys and stocked up and candy and just all kinds of things and rewarded him when he would go. And I told my mom, I was like, I may rot his teeth out in the process, but at least he'll get new ones.
That's right, they're gonna fall out anyway.
Yeah. So probably not a parenting win on my end of things, but he can use a potty.
Hey, you got to the game.
That's all that matters.
You got into the game, that's all that matters, and that's the I very much enjoy
So what you do is just come in all the different,
my ex-wife probably would have loved to have had that girly girl. Because she's very very feminine. And my daughter's starting to come more into that, but she's definitely had that tomboyish thing. The hard thing the hard transition we had was when my daughter was making a transition from a woman.
Yes.
And then she started veering more toward her mom. And I, as a dad, who she's been daddy's little girl all this time, started feeling alienated, isolated, as if she's mad at me or she's wrong, blah, blah, blah. The wife had to come back to her mind, hey, look, this is what she's
Going through things.
She's going through things.
Yes.
And I thought that was very crucial. And then I watched the same thing happen with my son. He's mama's boy, mama's boy, mama's boy. And here's that.
Yep.
And we had that same discussion, something reversed. And
Yes.
what I did find out too, boys, is if you want to talk to them, so say you want to find out what's going on, the worst thing you do is sitting down on the couch or at the kitchen table and say, hey,
no one
so tell me about your day. Worst thing. You want to talk to him, do something with him. So if he's down there playing cards, you go down and you play cards. And then they'll just talk. If he's coloring, you go color. If they're taking on a walk, if you do something physical, boys will talk to you the same way though.
Yes.
Because the worst thing you do with your boyfriend is say,
That's true. That's true.
so how long you been dating him?
Almost a year.
Almost.
Yeah, almost a year. He's had to deal with he's more of the outdoorsy nature guy, so he doesn't really know what to do or think about me.
Right.
So do with me, we're very, very different, and it just works really well. So
Different and you don't like to go hunting or?
he's not really like the hunting type. It's more of the hiking and paddleboarding and motorcycling and that kind of outdoorsy thing. Well, he hasn't got me to go yet. We went to a lot this summer and things just got crazy and we never went. So, but he loves that. I think that's something that I could do. It's just like the hiking. Because I'm like, I'm gonna do that. That's good. I just don't have time to get out there. It's one of those things.
See, I have a life goal.
Yeah.
Don't get eaten by bears.
Same with the motorcycle thing. Like, I just don't have time.
No motorcycle riding.
I have no idea.
Oh. You've dated for almost a year and you have no idea. Is it a cruiser style? Is it like a racing style?
I think racing.
Okay, more that's been laying board on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, he's great though. He's really good with the pageant thing and very supportive, even though he doesn't know what I'm doing or, but he's been very supportive.
Tell him listen to the podcast.
I know. I'll tell him. I'll be like, you need to listen to this podcast. You made an appearance in it, so.
That's right. That way you can find out what I do.
Yes.
And what I have to go through.
He knows because he hears a lot about it. He's just kind of like the supportive, like, and just lets me like talk through it. And
No, he's not listening.
probably.
Because that's one of my things.
Yeah.
That last time I was dating, yeah. She said, you even listen to me? No. I'm just doing my best to act like that and be supportive.
Well,
But I'm actually doing sometimes.
exactly, and I totally get that because when I'm talking to him about pageants, he's thinking about motorcycles, and when he's talking to me about motorcycles, I'm thinking about pageants. So
Right.
it's one of those things that we just, it works well though, so that's good. At least.
No, you should totally get into the paddle.
I think so too, actually.
I tried it. My former brother worked for a company that actually made. And so I was wanting to try one. And he had a couple in his garage. I said, hey, can I paddle? try this. He said, he was at work. You know what? I'm just gonna bring one from the warehouse to prototype. There's only 2 of them in the world. I'm gonna bring it to you. So he brings it over, and he said, yeah, we're actually making these for others. They sponsor these professional pilots. He said, we're making one for this guy, and this is one of those. And this is the prototype for it. And so I borrowed it, and I get out there, and never done this before. By myself, I get out there, and this is so cool.
Yeah.
It is the coolest thing in the world. And it's
Actually,
great for the core.
Yeah, I think I would enjoy it. I'm very clumsy, so I'm more afraid of spending more time in the water than on the paddleboard. But I think
You'll figure it out.
exactly. I used to wakeboard and do some of that stuff. So
Oh,
I'm
well, then
like,
you can do this.
surely, I feel like, but I also feel like I'll go into it too confident and be like, oh, okay, can't even stand up. That's
Well,
good.
just make sure somebody's got a camera.
Exactly. Oh, we always have his GoPro, so we're
That's
good.
right.
No,
Make sure somebody's got the GoPro attached to the front of the paddleboard.
Yep. So as long as he has his GoPro, we're good. We'll at least get some good footage out.
Get some vintage footage there.
Mhm.
Well, you said clumsy. Have you tried yoga?
No, not really.
You gotta try yoga. You gotta try it.
I don't think I'm calm enough. Like, yoga's
That's when you gotta try yoga.
I know. That's my thing. I feel like I should, but I feel like I would be like, okay, gotta go. Let's do something. You know?
See, but then you can do like a 5-minute yoga.
Yeah,
You
that
don't
would
have to do
probably
a
help.
45-minute.
I have a lot of like anxiety too. I feel like it would be so good for me. I just
You gotta do
yes.
it. Listen to the podcast with Christy Meyer.
Okay.
She's the gal who owns the yoga studio that I was going to. I did it for the first time on my birthday a couple years ago, 2016, and I walked out of there and I just went other people.
I probably should incorporate that in my life then, actually.
Right, you should. You
I'm
gotta
very high
find it.
anxiety.
You can do it. I know you got a busy schedule and we don't have time to go to a studio, especially with holidays right now. But you can. There's a YouTube channel. You just,
I've seen those.
yeah, and you just do it right there, and you don't need a mat. That's what I thought. This is what I found out in my podcast with Christy. I said something about the yoga mat. You know, what's the best mat? What are you gonna do? And her basic statements, whatever makes you feel better, whatever works. She said, do you know what the purpose of the mat is? I said, no. She said, the only purpose of that mat is to define your space.
Oh,
That's just it.
I didn't know that.
Just to define your space. She said, yeah, some mats give you grip because you might be on the floor where you can slide or whatever when you get in a certain position. So they're good for that if you need it for that. And they're good for cushioning if you're on your knee because maybe you're on the concrete floor. She said, but the basic purpose of it is to define your space.
I did not know that.
So you don't even need a mat.
No, I have one at home though.
Do you have a yoga mat, but you don't do yoga?
I have a yoga mat to do crunches and things like that.
Oh, okay.
Just so I'm not on the floor, you know.
Yeah. Well, then you gotta try. Do a YouTube thing. I don't know if there's a studio here.
Not that I know of. I mean, not super close. So,
Well, and that anxiety thing was guy, I'm trying to get him a podcast. He started yoga. He's dealt with a lot of anxiety, addiction issues, depression, and he just raves about what yoga's done. He was that guy that had to be moving because his mind was going so far and so fast. And it taught him to meditate, taught him to breathe, taught him, and that's the thing a lot of people don't get is sometimes you just gotta breathe.
yes.
I don't mean sustain yourself, but just
Yes.
breathe.
Just to calm everything down. No, I agree with that.
Well, that makes me think about something. What, before you go on stage, what's your routine?
I'm usually somewhere crying or freaking out. Just kidding. I really am. There are a lot of girls who are more withdrawn and quiet when they are getting ready to leave. I'm the opposite. I'm like super chatty Cathy backstage that I'm probably on everybody's nerves, but that's how I'm dealing with my anxiety. It's just like trying to talk through it and, you know, be like giddy and happy. But in reality, I'm like freaking completely out. So I actually joke about it all the time when I compete now because I'm like, I don't know why I still put myself through this because my anxiety is so bad that I start freaking myself out. But I will say, this is the first time when I competed for Miss US World, it was the most laid back and relaxed pageant I had ever done. And so I think that maybe the shorter week, but also they really put a huge emphasis on trying to make it like a girls' weekend. And they were like, we want this to be like a girls' weekend and then oh yeah. And they really made it that way. And so this was the first time I was telling Robbie,
Boyfriend?
no, Robbie is Ms. World.
Oh.
Yes. So I was telling Robbie, I was like, I have not had a meltdown yet, and I'm kind of wondering when that's going to happen because I've just been so relaxed, and it's bizarre how relaxed I've been. And a lot of times I'm pretty high anxiety into an interview because to me, interview is just so important, and I want it to go the way I want it to go. And I'm a little bit of a control freak, so I just want that interview to go well because I feel like you can really win or lose your interview, the whole pageant in your interview. So I get really anxious before my interview, and it was so weird. I walked in the interview at Miss US World just completely off, and the judges were very inviting, they were very nice. They asked the right questions that got us, when I walked out of the interview, I called my mom and I was like, so this could be a bad thing. I said, but I felt really good about that. I've left interview crying before and won the interview award. So who knows, so sometimes I feel like I'm not the best judge of how well it went. So we are, and we're very hard on ourselves, and especially when it's coming down to something like this, and it was, it's make or break in that 5 minutes with the judges. So I came out and I was just like, I felt really good. I said, I hope that's not a bad thing. So when I won the interview award, I was very thankful because that's huge to me, but I wasn't surprised because I did feel like I connected really well with the judges that day. So, but overall, I just try to calm myself if it's not, it doesn't always happen.
Well, that's one of the, I know, like, I used to do a lot of public speaking. Prior to, it was hard because of the role that I was in, I rarely got this chance. Prior to, I want to be by myself. I just want to be by myself, I might listen to some music. I just want to have that zone moment. I rarely got that, but that's what I want.
Yeah.
Afterwards, and I think I do well, I engage people well, I do all that stuff well, I enjoy being on stage, I enjoy that whole thing. Afterwards, I got crash.
Yes.
It's like, I'm gonna finish this, I'm gonna be dead.
It is exhausting. It truly is. And I tell people, I feel like I'm an extroverted introvert because it's like some days I wake up and I'm ready to be around people, and I work in a business where I'm with women all day, but it's like sometimes when I wake up and I'm in that introverted.
What gives you? Is it being around and engaged, or is it just, hey, I'm on my own?
Downtime, for sure.
Then you're in.
But I love being around people, so it's very weird.
That's me. I love being on stage. I love engaging people. I love doing this podcast. I love videos. But I get recharged. For other people I know, they get their energy by being around people. Those are extroverts.
Yes.
It's my definition.
To some extent, I do, but it's if I'm in an introverted place, I need to be alone. Or I can get to that point where I'm being extroverted, but it wears me out.
Yeah.
I'm so exhausted by it. So.
Yeah, it doesn't charge me to be like that. I don't get energized. I was hosting Sounds of Summer this summer in Athens. And I'm on stage very little, but I'm also hosting Sounds of Summer, so I'm floating around, talking to people, getting ready for the next act, and doing all that stuff. And once Sounds of Summer is over, I'm no longer the host of Sounds of Summer guy. I go over the door and sit down. And I hope nobody comes in here and talks to me right now. And that was me. But on stage, I'm fine.
Mm-hmm.
We just did over 2 hours.
Look at us.
Yeah, does it feel like it?
No. You got really fast.
Oh, wait a minute. I mean, that's your business. Tell them about your business.
Yes, so
Let's
I
pimp
own.
that.
Yeah, I'm actually like right downstairs from my business. So I own Her Majesty Boutique, and I have owned. We've been here in Sweetwater for 2 years. It's kind of crazy. We just celebrated our second birthday in September. But I managed a boutique all through college. I went to Tennessee Wesleyan. I majored in business. And so after college, I had my son, and I was actually working from home doing network marketing. And I earned a bonus with the company I was with, and I was just like, wow, like it's time. So that's when I started Her Majesty, and the whole goal of Her Majesty is just to bring mainstream fashion to Main Street, but also to make all women look and feel like a queen. So I think it's really neat how my business actually ties hand in hand with the organization that I won my title with, and just empowering women. So I have this location here in Sweetwater, in the downtown area. I opened a second location in Foothills Mall in Maryville.
Oh, wow.
So yes, we do have 2 locations right now. And Sweetwater's always going to be the home of Her Majesty. It's my hometown. Yes, it's the headquarters. So yeah, it's something really special. I say that it's my second child.
Well, yeah, you're married to it.
Yes, you are. You absolutely are. But being an entrepreneur is definitely something that I was made for, and I don't know well with having a boss. So, being my own boss has been nice. But I have,
Just think about your boyfriend.
bless his heart, right?
He's a patient man.
He is. He's so patient.
You know why? Because he gets out in the nature.
That's true. It probably is true. He hugs trees and, does that kind of thing. So he makes me say that. I joke with him all the time about him loving trees. So trees and motorcycles.
Beautiful.
Bless his heart. He deals with
So Her
me.
Majesty's Boutique,
Yes.
Foothills Mall here in downtown Sweetwater. It's upstairs, right?
Yes.
I've been in it.
Have you?
I have. I can tell you exactly when. It was last year. During, I think it was the last Christmas.
Probably.
Last year.
Yeah. We were so busy that I hardly had time to.
It was crowded.
Yes. I hardly had time to see or talk to anybody that day.
Yeah, it was crowded. I think I did a 365 things to do video walking around downtown.
That's really neat.
You ever seen that video?
No.
I got a video project called 365 things to do around that. And so I just go around on things. Like the one that was up yesterday was the Humane Society. They're having Santa Claus, discount adoption rates for dogs and cats. So I went to the video on that one. Check it out.
I'll have to look at that. That's awesome.
365 things to do around that. There's a plug for it on YouTube.
If you find 365 things to do in Sweetwater, then you deserve an award.
That's why I said around. Because I can go to Sweetwater, I can go to Chattanooga, I
Yes.
can go to Cleveland, I'm going to Cleveland Saturday night. There's a drag queen show.
Wow, I judged a drag pageant one time.
Did
It
you
was-
really?
I did. I judged the Miss Knoxville drag pageant. It was very,
It's amazing.
yes, I was, again, it's just performing, but it was incredible. And I was kind of self-conscious. I was kind of self-conscious too, because I was like, these men are way prettier than me. I mean, it was amazing.
You gotta be careful being a single guy going to a drag queen show.
Oh yeah, probably.
You don't go in there looking for dates.
No.
And, just, and that's the other secret. If somebody, because I mentioned something to the guys at work, you guys like this drag queen show? No. I mean, they're just like, I'd ask them.
It's fascinating.
It's like I'd ask them to make out with some guy or something. They're like, oh, like that. Look, just if you're gonna go to a drag show or a gay bar, or a straight guy, don't be a jerk, right? If you're a jerk, don't go. And know you're drinking.
Yes, of course.
And you're gonna have fun.
Yes.
So
Well,
I
it's
know what a drag is.
the artistry behind it is amazing. They are so talented. Like what they do, their outfits, their makeup, it's all just amazing. They put, that's their lives. They truly live that. And it's very expensive what they do, and it's amazing. I'm fascinated by it, and I think it's so neat that they do that.
I think I'm gonna make that a 365 things to do.
I would. That's so
Saturday. Do a
neat.
video with me and the drag queen.
That would be amazing.
No, I
You should get them on your podcast.
I thought about that.
You should.
I thought about getting on their pockets.
Yes, if you dug deep into their lives and what they do, that would be so amazing. That's a story that needs to be heard.
It is, because there's a lot of misconceptions about about homosexuality,
Right.
especially about drag queens. Because not all of them are gay. Some guys like
Some of them are women.
some of them are.
That's what's fascinating. I mean, it's what they do is just amazing to me. I support them. I think that it's really incredible what they do.
Well, I haven't gotten a guy friend of mine to tell me they go. I've had a couple
Are you being like sarcastic?
female friends who've said, we'll see who shows up.
Yes.
I'm going to get a hotel in the area because I don't want to drive all the way back to Athens. The show starts at 9.
It's a really long 2-hour or 20-minute drive.
I want to have a couple of drinks.
But I did learn this. They have what is called drag time. And basically, if the show says it's starting at 10, did you say 10 o'clock?
Midnight.
Okay, so we could start at 1 or 2 because they're on drag time.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
Yeah.
So I didn't realize that. So when I was judging, I had to be in class the next morning because that's when it was Miss Tennessee back in 2012. I went to Tennessee Wesleyan. I was in Knoxville judging this drag pageant, and I don't think that they showed up until like 1:30.
Oh, they're definitely very
They're
queenish.
divas.
Very divas.
They're definitely divas, but I love it. Like I love that
They
personality.
definitely are.
I love that about them. So
They're very flamboyant, and yeah, no, if I could,
yes,
I'm looking forward to the show.
get one of them on your podcast. That is your goal.
That is my goal.
I'm setting that goal for you.
You know what? If you know one, there's some shows up in Knoxville too.
Yes.
I just found out. So it'll be interesting. Definitely want to try to get one on 365 days, make that a 365 days. Just to irritate some of the people that I'm okay with.
Yeah, closed-minded people may not be so accepting, but I think it's fabulous. I love it.
But I'm not. Ashley, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Say bye-bye.
Bye.
Now if I'm gonna turn this off.
That's me every time I do a Facebook.
Let's just do this. Rotate device.
She was a type of old.
You'd think.
Yeah, killed her parents. Yeah, my parents died. They're so I'm gonna let you take a picture of me and him. With me in my crown.
Did you see her lightning?
No, I
She got struck by lightning.